Alright, so I got my loft beam set up in here and rough notched into the log. I rough notched it to get it the top flat, the same height off the sill log. Measured up to the top. It's the same distance on both ends. And I've got it level. So what I want is about this line to be down here at the top of this log. So my scribe setting is going to be 4 inches. But when I go to scribe this, I need to put another scarf on each side right here. And I wanted to wait so I could look and see what my scribe setting is going to be. Because as this log, the next log that comes across here, it's going to be at least probably a 1/2 inch down below this crown of this log. So it's going to come in here. I'd rather have where these two scarves come together, because there's going to be another scarf here where these two make a point. I'd rather have that below where this log scribes onto the lower log, because it's easier to sink that point down inside and then get covered up by the next log, instead of trying to bring the next log around that recurve. And I'll try to show you the best I can. So what I'm going to do now is mark where my scribe is going to be, and then I probably want to be 3/4 below that with my next scarf. So I scribed a little bit there just so I know where I got to be, and I'm going to try coming in somewhere in here with my scarf. So I'll get that cut in there and planed out, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now we got our final scribe here, and you can see now, go to this side, it's a little better maybe. So now instead of this point being up here or above here, I've got this point below where this is going to come in. So I do have to cut this little jog in this notch here, but it's not too hard. And then what you have to end up doing is plumbing down and just taking this little triangle out with the grinder, and it'll slide right in that little notch. If you were to cut this beam square like a standard beam would be, your load would be all on this bottom. With a saddle like this, it's transferring the load out here on these shoulders too. And also, if you just cut this beam square, it would shrink and then you'd get a gap. I'm going to treat this like a standard notch, and I'm going to overscribe this 1/4 inch here, take an extra 1/4 out, so as this shrinks, it will slide down a little bit deeper in that notch and bottom out on the scribe line. So now we just score with the multi-tool and chainsaw her out. So there's the finished notch, and you always want to check the bottom with a level. So I'm level there, and I got about an 1/8 gap in the back. That's what you want, because you don't want it hanging up in the back. And that's how you take care of that little scribe over the top there. You just grind in that flat to the scribe line. I usually just take my square, run off the top, plumb down with that mark, just grind that out. The log over here where that little ear is back cut anyway, so you got room. So now this should be able to slide straight down into that ear. And there we have it. Perfect loft beam notched in. I can see now how when this next log comes across, it's going to scribe over this loft beam and it's going to come in somewhere in this area with the long groove, keeping it above that point so it's nice and clean transition. It'd be way harder if this point was up above and you're trying to come down and get around that.